And we have 3 different sports media figures that have released their All-Star ballots, and Angel Reese is nowhere to be seen. She's not involved.
Angel Reese didn't simply fall short. She failed to even make the All-Star roster. Even though she is one of the league's most talked about players and has personally urged her supporters to cast ballots, the statistics paint a different picture. With little over 173,000 votes, she came in 13th place in the fan voting. The headlines that formerly referred to her as the WNBA's future are very different from that. What happened? Forbes even labeled her a league face, placing her name next to A.A. Wilson's.
And Angel Reese being the face of the WNBA, you would think Angel Reese is leading the league in votes. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
How can Caitlin Clark, in her own divisive spotlight, garner over 600,000 votes, more than tripling Reese's total, while one of the most well-known and well-promoted rookies in years, who is always trending and talked about, fall behind in the one place that truly gauges fan support? This was more than a simple snub. It served as a reality check. Furthermore, the reality begins to emerge when we examine the media ballots, the vote breakdown, and the coaches' and players' contributions. Despite the loud hype, the numbers paint a different picture.
And we saw from the popularity voting, remember, it wasn't just Caitlin Clark, it was me too. Angel was 13th in the All-Star voting. Well, everything I've been told, she should have been at least second.
Angel Reese was all over the place. She was hailed as a rising talent last year who had the potential to transform women's basketball. Social media loved her, headlines lauded her, and the WNBA capitalized on the excitement. However, when this year's All-Star ballots were released, Reese's name was buried beneath players with less attention and, to be honest, more consistency at 13th place. It's shocking for someone who was previously regarded as the league's future. What happened to all that momentum?
11.3 points and 11.9 boards and a 38.5% shooter at 6'3".
That's correct. Reese is shooting 38.9% from the field and averaging 11.3 points and 11.9 rebounds. Her field goal percentage is lower than it was the previous season, and she is grabbing less rebounds than she did the year before, indicating a decrease rather than improvement. She is projected to dominate inside at 6 feet 3 inches. However, erratic rebounding and shooting performances paint a different picture. These figures are not merely mediocre. Because of the expectations associated with her name, they stand out.
So it's been very up and down. All of her numbers, she's over 2 points a game behind last year, and basically a little over a rebound a game down, and that's supposed to be her strong suit.
Now contrast that with the events surrounding her. With almost 516,000 votes, Caitlin Clark was the frontrunner in the All-Star fan vote. 3 times the 173,363 of Reese. The impact of Clark is clear. Leading her team, she's producing impressive results and creating standout plays that result in victories. However, Reese's production hasn't kept up with the cacophony. It's easy to understand why fans and commentators are reconsidering Reese's position in the discussion when someone with less fanfare but more reliable results surpasses her in the voting.
She not only was she not second, she was basically 3 times the amount of votes behind Caitlin Clark.
The All-Star voting mechanism truly exposes things at this point. Half of the votes are cast by fans, with the other half coming from players and the media. These individuals watch every game, analyze the movie, and understand what constitutes an All-Star. It says a lot that Rhea was not included on any of the 3 big media ballots. A.A. Wilson, meanwhile, was overwhelmingly selected on all 3 media ballots and didn't simply appear. Real output receives that amount of respect, and Reese's numbers, particularly for someone her size and fame, haven't left the same effect.
The same Angel Reese who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list, 173,000 votes.
And a portion of this boils down to the distinction between fact and reputation. The media rushed with the notion that Rhee was the next big celebrity when she amassed a sizable social media following. However, being well-known isn't enough in the WNBA. You also need to perform well on the floor. Her rebounding slump and shooting difficulties demonstrate that she is not imposing her will as many had anticipated. Being the league spokesperson makes every missed shot and silent night much more noticeable.
A potential reserve, who would it be? Gabby Williams and Brittany Sykes. So Angel Reese couldn't even squeeze into a reserve spot. And now Megan Hall of USA Today, she left Angel Reese off her All-Star ballot.
The players and media take note, as do the fans. It's hardly a coincidence that neither group supported the All-Star selection. It may indicate that the hype machine has overtaken reality. Reese's performance hasn't kept up with the media hype that built her up. It is now impossible to overlook that disparity, which is evident in everything from official votes to social media threads. Rhee's ranking of 13th in the vote indicates that it's more than simply a few rough games. It has to do with unmet expectations. The limelight is intense, and the excitement quickly wanes when the production falls short of expectations. The fact that Reese didn't just wait around for recognition, she went out and asked for it, makes the All-Star rejection more intriguing since it shows that fans and insiders are searching for more than just promise.
And the front court players, Boston, Nafisi Collier, Nika, Satu Sabali, Brianna Stewart, and Asia Wilson. All right. And down here, Boston, Jonquel Jones, Alyssa Thomas. No Angel Reese, folks.
This was not a contentious snub or a tight race. The disparity was enormous. The outcome was even more obvious because of Reese's overt campaign for votes. The excitement didn't materialize, and instead of remaining silent, fans walked on. What does it say about her hype when a player who shoots less than 40% of the time can't make it into the top 10? The statistics made everyone reevaluate their preconceived notions.
This probably means she will not be a starter in the All-Star game, which would make sense because Angel Reese shouldn't be a starter for a regular season game.
The fans weren't the last to be scrutinized. Angel Reese was not saved by the media, many of whom had spent months promoting her. Megan Hall of USA Today, who had earlier lauded Reese's influence on the league, completely excluded her off her All-Star ballot. It's not just Reese, either. Paige Bueckers, who is sometimes seen as Caitlin Clark's closest rival in terms of excitement and promise, failed to place in the top 5. The message is unambiguous. With this level of competitiveness, and when the votes are open to the public, reputation alone is insufficient.
Bueckers is number 6, which I thought was rather surprising. 3 months ago, Paige Bueckers was the only star in women's basketball not named Caitlin Clark. She entered the WNBA dump with a massive amount of mainstream notoriety, but as soon as she put on the hard hat, as soon as she was sized for the steel-toed boots, the second she took off the UConn jersey and exchanged it for the Dallas Wankers, Paige Bueckers seems to have disappeared.
This is where Angel Reese's reputation truly began to fall apart. The votes revealed something different from the media's portrayal of her as unstoppable. She may have appeared to be everywhere due to social media influencers and continuous coverage, but when it came time to make an appearance, the support was lacking. The excitement appeared to be strong on the surface, but it wasn't strong enough to propel her into the spotlight.
The mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star. Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism.
Conversely, Clark didn't have to make as much of a campaign. Her performance spoke for itself, and her fans enthusiastically responded. Rather of gaining traction, Reese's campaign revealed the boundaries of her appeal. There was an open discrepancy between the fiction being presented and the actual situation on the court. Even some media sources that had previously promoted Rhee as a superstar began to subtly back off and concentrate on other things. The question is now open for everyone to answer. The answer to the question of how Angel Rhee went from being a media sensation to being ignored by those who formerly supported her goes beyond statistics and social media. It's about what happens when the votes don't lie and the story begins to fall apart.
Now, we know the media jumped through hoops, gymnastics, mental gymnastics. I mean, however you try to put it, they tried to raise up Angel Reese last year as being, of course, she's running neck and neck with Caitlin Clark for the Rookie of the Year. Except that wasn't accurate at all.
The role of the media must be discussed while examining Angel Reese's transition from star to afterthought. For months, publications like Forbes referred to her as one of the WNBA's faces, alongside AA. Wilson's statement, "The reason people watch women's basketball isn't just for one person, it's because of Me Too," was bolstered by Rhee herself. There was widespread publicity. She controlled the conversation on social media. With each highlight, her name became popular, and she appeared in league advertisements and national news. There was a lot of attention and high hopes. However, as soon as the All-Star voting results were announced, the amount of coverage quickly decreased. The same media outlets that had been promoting her began to calm down. Why did the numbers not just fall short? They presented an angle that the media was unable to take. Rhee concluded with 173,363 fan votes, finished with an average of 11.3 points per game, and shot less than 40% from the field, placing her in 13th place.
Still don't understand how she could be that tall and shoot that terrible from the field. I really don't understand.
That doesn't fit the description of someone who is altering the game or leading the league. Even more telling is the fact that she was completely left off of the USA Today and Sports Illustrated All-Star votes. That represents a significant change from the story that portrayed her as a must-see superstar.
People are catching on, folks. People are catching on. Her fans can't defend the play anymore. And I guess members of the media are starting to give up.
The accumulation of media collided with a single, icy reality. Her all-star votes revealed something different. Only when the play supports the hype will it be effective. When players, fans, and the media ignore you, it makes everyone reevaluate what was being offered. The media hoped she would be the next great thing, but her performance didn't live up to the hype. The plots and magazine stories seemed abruptly out of sync with what was taking down on the court. There was a clear gap. You can talk all day about star power, but if the production doesn't live up to expectations, people will notice and move on.
It was our understanding, from what we understood, she was going to be among the players, right? That's what the media has been trying to tell us, except the media is finally telling you, this is 3 members of the media, 2 from SI, 1 from USA Today, and they are saying she is not among the starters, in their opinion, in the WNBA All-Star game. They're not on these ballots.
It's not just about Reese either. The way the media changed focus demonstrates how easily attention can wane. You are an afterthought one moment, and the headline the next. Coaches and players expressed their unambiguous views by excluding her from their ballots, according to league insiders. When fans noticed that the message was loud, hype alone is insufficient. Not only did the voting process reveal a performance discrepancy, but it also revealed a media credibility gap. The dispute arose as to whether they were reporting the truth or promoting a narrative.
I mean, we got to remember, they may put Angel Reese on their backs and try to carry her across the finish line, for crying out loud. But my goodness, what a difference. What a difference in the media from this time last year. People are finally catching on. Basketball fans, Actual basketball fans that know anything about basketball, they've caught on. There's no doubt about it.
There is now a different kind of pressure. The media's silence is a warning, not just a pause. If the numbers don't improve, these same outlets who helped her reputation grow might as well switch to the next big star. This is the point at which Angel Reese determines what will happen next. Let's hear what you think. Does she utilize this as inspiration to further up her game, or does she stop talking altogether? Post your ideas in the comments section. Is the WNBA changing, or will Reese make a comeback?
Actual basketball fans that know anything about basketball, they've caught on. There's no doubt about it.
The fervor surrounding Angel Reese demonstrates that even strong media coverage from publications like USA Today or Forbes SI cannot ensure all-star designation in the absence of commensurate on-court performance. The league, fans, and even the media clearly want results, not just headlines, as evidenced by her all-star rejection. Was Reese overpriced, or will she disprove those who doubt her ability to bounce back? Tell us in the comments if you believe the ballots were accurate, and subscribe for more WNBA analysis.